Ever wondered if the self-storage industry is easy money or just another overhyped business? Well, after 14 years of running my Beverley site, I've literally seen it all. I've seen the big wins and I've seen the really painful setbacks. So I'm going to show you the real profit and loss and what it actually costs to start a self-storage business, and one mistake that cost me years so you can avoid it. To start, I want to show you what my site actually looks like. We actually won, by the way, the UK Outdoor Storage Site of the Year. Humble brag there. Anyway, so without any further ado, I'm going to pass you to On-Site Dean to show you around my site in Beverley. On-Site Dean, take it away. And by the way, I apologise about the wind noise. Please bear with it because the information is good, all right? So please bear with it. Over to On-Site Dean. In this section of the video, we're going to walk through exactly how we get into the site and show you all the different size units. I'm walking down the stairs now, trying not to fall over. Now, this site is only very, very small. It is only 0.34 of an acre. You'll see these units here. These have been purpose built. So we've got purpose built ones and we've got some containers here. We've really squeezed in as much as we possibly can to make sure we can maximise the revenue on this site. We opened this site in 2012 and we started going around the perimeter first of all to make sure they was filled up. Once they was filled up, we got more self-storage units. That's the beauty about containerised self-storage. You only buy, by the way, it's freezing here, I'm in my shorts. You only buy as and when you need the units. So as you can see, we've squeezed in literally as much units as we can. And by the way, this site won the 2012 self-storage container site of the year as well. So here's the gate now, and what we do is we give you a Paxton fob, and there's a bus going by, perfect timing. So we give you a Paxton fob there, and you can literally place it here. There we go. And it logs you down exactly who you are, what time you come in and what time you leave as well. So we've got literally a call log of every time somebody comes in, and it's completely manless as well. There's no need for anybody to be here because of this little beauty. And by the way, this was 12 years ago. The systems now have improved and changed. Sorry, 14 years ago this was. And so the way we access yards now is completely different. We have a pin code access because then we don't have to give this thing to the customer and give it back. Right, I'm freezing, so we're going to give you back to out of sight Dean. And then in that video, the next part of it, we're going to go through the exact costs, how much each of these unit costs, how much it costs to set up a full site, how much the rent and rates are, and how much do we take from this site. Thank you very much, On-Site Dean. Welcome back, everybody. God, I feel like a news reporter. It's a goddamn sexy looking site, that one, isn't it? Okay, let's get down and dirty with the numbers, and we're going to pass over to Numbers Dean. So, Numbers Dean, over to you. Okay, so here is my P&L, and we've focused, just to make it simple for you guys and for me, we've focused on January this year, and then we can see January the prior year here, just to compare exactly how well we've done this year compared to last. And to be honest, we've actually took less revenue this year than last year, which is surprising for me. Right, we'll get into it. So firstly, you see all these different sections here, and then we ultimately get down to the profit here. So let's go through them quickly. As you can see, sales, it comes in 3 different forms. Sales, that's the rent that we charge. So we've charged 13,502, a little bit down from the previous year. Income from insurance. So obviously what happens when people come into self-storage, a lot of people overlook this. Some operators don't charge insurance. That's a massive mistake because as you can see here, we charge an insurance. So we're basically the middleman. We get insurance and then we sell the insurance on for a decent profit. And as you can see here, we took 5,968 in insurance fees this January. Now, don't forget, it's a win for me because obviously we earn extra revenue, but it's also a win for the customers because we're insuring their goods. And sometimes something happens to their goods, not very often, but it's a peace of mind that they know their stuff is insured. Self-storage license fee, so we charge this every time somebody comes in. As you can see, the total sales here, gross profit 100% because there's no cost of goods. Marketing. Now, this one is a little bit of a test. We tested it because we never ever normally do pay-per-clicks ads at our Beverley site because we don't really need to, but we thought we'd test it because you don't know unless you test it. I'm a big advocate of testing things. So we tested, it didn't really work. As you can see, it didn't really work because we didn't need to. We're already very high up on Google anyway for the organic listing, and people in Beverley seem to know us because we've been here a long time. And as you can see, we didn't do anything in January 2025. Right, the property cost, the rent, £1,500, exactly the same. So we pay £18,000 a year. So that works out to £1,500. The rates are 697. The light, power, heating, etc. Well, it's only really power. We have lights around the site as well. So yeah, 153. It's gone up from £81 from the previous year. So that's a sizable jump. But after all, it is only 153 quid. Repairs and maintenance. To be honest, we always put this, but there isn't a lot of repairs and maintenance. Last year we did 540. I think we paid about £1,000 in total for the repairs throughout the whole year last year. So the total costs here, as you can see, there they are. Operational motor vehicle. I was like, what the heck is this? I asked my team, and it's because this site is manless. And so every now and again, somebody from Willoughby, our Willoughby site, has to come down and check the site. And so basically, they've come down, and that's the petrol that they charged. I think they came on the way to work or something. So it happens to be £11. Right, let's have a look at the admin costs. Telephone and internet, not a lot there. To be honest, we don't really need that because we've got nothing there. The bank fees, 200. I actually think this is expensive, but it's something that's on my list to look into, but it's not a priority at the minute. Insurance costs, because we need to make sure if anybody breaks a leg or anything or falls over, that we're insured as well. We want to be above board, and obviously insurance is one of those fees that you have to have. We pay it monthly. The legal and professional fees, I don't know what that was, 293 in January 2025, but it's still there. So you can see total administration costs. Total revenue is 19,744, and it's changed obviously from that, so it's just a bit different, about 700 quid or so. We take more every single year, so I do think that somebody just hasn't paid an invoice or something like that, or the days, because obviously we don't take money on weekends, so it could be because of weekends lining up differently, but I reckon that February will take more than 2025. We always take more year on year, so I'm a little bit gutted that this is showing you an example of something that I do believe that we decrease in revenue. So it's not perfect, but there we go. The total expenses is £4,004 compared to £3,595 there. And you'll see the January profit was 15,740 and 16,820. The percentage profit of revenue to profit is 79.7%. Self-storage is really, really good. To be honest, this is a mature site. This has the best profit margins of any of our sites. So please don't think that, hey, Dean, guess what? You promised me 80%. It's not going to be 80% all the time. We aim for 50%, which is still good. And I think the average in the industry is 41%. But container sites are very, very good for profit margins. And over time, I will show you more and more of our sites, and we can compare exactly what this site does to other sites, so you get a rounded knowledge. I'm an open book, so I can show you everything anyway. So if we times it by 12, so if we only take January's money, then you'll see it's 188,880 profit that we think it'll be around about this year. Last year was 201,840. If we times that by 12, but yeah, I know you're thinking, but Dean, you said £200,000. I know I did, and it will be. January, it's a slower month for us because we get less customers in January than we do in the summer. So whatever we're taking in January, you can bet your bottom dollar that we will be taking more in June, July, August, April, May, October. All them months will take more. So that will shoot up. So that is literally my site in numbers. All right, so you've seen the site. You've seen the numbers, and now I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, okay, Dean, what did it actually cost to set this site up? And you mentioned one mistake. What is that one mistake? Well, I'll tell you what, let's do the cost first, because let's be honest, it's all about the money, Yep, I definitely can't sing. Anyway, it's all about the money. So what did it cost to open the site? It cost me £412,000 to open the site. And by the way, the mistake is to do with that as well, so bear with me. So there was 3 buckets there: access and security, so the gate entry system and the cameras, and then there was the site setup, the lighting around the site, and the second-hand modular building that we had on the site as well, because it was a manned facility back then. And the third thing was the units. There was 60 purpose-built units. There was 24 20-foot units, and there was 9 10-foot units as well. So all in all, it was around about £412,000 to get the site operational. Okay, my mistake that held me back for years. It was I paid everything up front, all £412,000 worth. I just sold another business, so I had the cash. And at the time, I thought, no debt. That would be nice, it'd be safe, and ultimately be lovely jubbly. Then I kind of told a mentor all about it, and I'll be honest, he basically yelled at me. And he said, "You've done it the hard way." This is exactly how it sounds, but "You've done it the hard way. You should have leveraged asset finance." And I'm not joking, 14 years ago, I had no idea what leveraging debt was, asset finance. So here's what I learned. Containers and units are assets. Instead of paying the cash up front, you can use asset finance, where the lending is backed by the asset itself, which usually means lower rates than you'd ever expect. You can keep your cash in your pocket, and more importantly, you can expand faster. For me, that was a no-brainer. When I ran the numbers, it worked out to roughly £12 per week per container. That's around about £1.70 a day. It honestly hit me like a ton of bricks. I'd been holding back for basically the price of a coffee a day. But 6 months later, I opened my second site. And by the way, we all know I didn't get smarter overnight. It was just because I finally understood funding and asset finance and leveraging debt. Right, let's get to the bit that most people care about. What does the site actually return once it's up and running? So here are my real Beverly numbers. So as you know, it cost me £412,000 to open. If we take January's profit and loss and times it by 12 for the year, and by the way, it should be more in the summer, the site's net profit will be around about £188,000 per year. That's roughly a 46% return on the original investment year on year. I don't know about you, but I think that's awesome. I think it's fantastic. And if you want more self-storage goodies, join my daily self-storage newsletter where you can watch me build my business in public. The link is somewhere in the show notes. Right, YouTube thinks you'll like this video next. I've seen these creators do it. It's one of us. Right, enjoy it. All right, thank you very much. I love you. I appreciate you, and I'll see you in the next one.